I've fallen and I can't get up. Welcome back. I know the last video was different. Yeah, it was different, but we're back here. We're in the bedroom. We're back here in the bedroom where the magic happens, and by the magic, I mean, where are you going? You may or may not know that this past Tuesday was my birthday. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes. No, seriously, all of you that wish me happy birthday, thank you. That's lovely. You're great. For those of you that didn't, that's great too. I wouldn't remember me either. I'm 36 now, which, you know, is the new 36. I thought, well, I'm getting older. I've had a very, 2021 ended up being a very like introspective year for me. And I was like, well, what are some of the things that you've learned over the course of your life? And then I couldn't think of anything, so I made a bunch of things up. Oh, that's not true. This is gonna be 35 things that I learned in 35 years. And then I added another one because I didn't know if it should be 36 things in 36 years. It got me thinking about time and how that works in terms of age. So it's gonna be 35, it's gonna be 36 things I learned in 35 years. Does that make sense to anybody? Okay. Going to sleep in the dark is not the scariest thing in the world. I used to be terrified of the dark, but not like the dark where it's just like dark in your room, but like the kind of dark where it's so dark you can't see your hand in front of your face. And I still am afraid of that, because that, to me, there's something claustrophobic about that I just absolutely despise. Excuse me. I also didn't realize that the screaming in my ears as a child was like tinnitus. I think I was born with tinnitus. Either way, it screams in my ears when it's silent. So I used to hate my room being quiet, and I used to hate my room being dark. But now I don't know, I found some comfort in the screams in the dark. So that's me. Knowing when to speak up is equally as important as knowing when to shut the fuck up. This year I learned that sometimes that thing you just want to say, that you feel compelled to say, doesn't need to be fucking said. Shut your mouth. You're not doing anybody any help. Help? Good. You're not doing anybody any good. Sentences. Something I didn't learn in these 35 years. Authenticity goes way farther than you think. Being a real, honest, open person, especially to being wrong, to misunderstanding, making sure that you're willing to listen to other people when you are, while still remaining true to who you are. That's a balance that kind of takes a long time to find, but you'll only find it by being genuinely who you are. Weird person. And I don't mean like if who you are is like genuinely homophobic, like drop that. Don't drop that. You were probably way cooler than you thought you were in school. I know I always thought I was like a complete underdog, outcast, weirdo. And I was, but I was the queen of the underdog, outcast weirdos. I was like the ringleader of my friends in junior high. And I had no idea until I was like 29. I was in charge there. It's probably good that I didn't know, because a Capricorn loves a power trip, you know what I'm saying? I'd like to know what my friends' parents thought of me as a 13-year-old. I was such an interesting dichotomy of person, because on one hand, I was smoking cigarettes and getting into fights and getting into trouble, and on the other hand, I was listening to Barry Manilow, and all of my friends started listening to Barry Manilow too. Kind of a cool juxtaposition, I think. You were ahead of your time, young Sajak. You were ahead of your time. And behind it. And also to the left of it. Either way, you're a fucking loose cannon. If you're a young, dumb American, don't ever play this game I created called London, and I really mean this, please don't ever do this. This isn't like a ha 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 ha, I'm saying it, but do it. No, please don't ever do this. Basically, it's where you're 16 and stupid, and you're driving around with your friends, and you think it's really funny when somebody yells London, and then you drive on the wrong side of the road until traffic comes. It's stupid and incredibly dangerous, and like, please don't ever play a game like that. Cars are not toys. Don't Don't. And if you're in another country where you drive on the other side of the road, don't ever play America, because we don't have free healthcare and everything is oppressive here. Stop worrying about what you look like. I know that's an oversimplified thing to say, because I know that there are often like triggers and disorders and traumas and all kinds of things associated with that. But do your best with what you got. We're only given one chance here. We're only given one life. We are only given one opportunity to just be alive and enjoy ourselves. Try your best to not spend it all worrying about what your external package looks like, because at the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter. Nothing matters. Being a good person matters. Being kind to other people matters. Having a good time matters. Perfect skin doesn't matter. Perfect waistline, it doesn't matter. None of that shit matters. And it doesn't matter to other people as much as it matters to you. So don't let other people's perception of you control you at all, in general. Still, sentence making, not my forte. If you're over the age of 30, always pee before you go to bed. It's like leaving the house with a toddler. You're better off to just try than to wake up at 4:45 when it's still dark out in the middle of February and you have to pee. Like, it's just, nobody wants that. If something makes your mouth itchy, you're probably allergic to it. I'm an intelligent human being. I like to read books. I did okay in school sometimes. I like to think I'm a pretty well-rounded person. Watching Jeopardy and playing along doesn't make me feel like an idiot. However, there are several instances in my life where I'm like, wow, Sajak, you're a fucking moron. When I was a kid and when I was a young adult and a teenager, not in that order, I was always like, God, I don't understand why people enjoy eating radishes or celery or ginger when they just make your mouth burn and itch. Like, who wants to fucking do that? And then I clued in about 5 or 6 years ago and I was like,
hey bitch, maybe you're fucking allergic to those things.
If it makes your mouth itch, you're probably allergic to it. Prioritize self-care. But I want you to prioritize it realistically. When people on the internet talk about self-care, they often talk about doing good things for yourself, taking an opportunity for yourself, taking a day off, doing X, Y, and Z. And in a lot of cases, that's not even feasible. For me, I'm a single parent, so like, self-care to me looks like, I don't know, when the kids go to bed and like I can eat Doritos. Like, that's self-care. Granted, that's also self-sabotage. Maybe I'm not the best one to give this advice. Be realistic. Because it's not self-care if you're still trying to live up to some other kind of standard. You know what I'm saying? I think you got it. If you love the smell of freshly cut grass, masturbate in a bag of lawn clippings. If you're able to, learn how to cook a handful of things by the time you turn 25. Cooking is like an incredibly valuable life skill, and I understand that a lot of people maybe are not able to cook, or people have a difficult relationship with food. I think it's fun and it's attractive in a what am I, a gorilla? It's attractive in a partner when they know how to cook, right? So I would assume for the other person it would be attractive if you knew how to cook. So it's just a nice little, it's a nice life skill that is important to have. Because let me tell you, as someone who was in a relationship and was the only one that could cook a fucking thing, it's annoying when the other person can't. I don't mean can't because they can't, I mean can't because they won't. Follow your passions even if they seem stupid and unattainable. I'm not talking like, I'm gonna become the Queen of England and I'm from Kentucky. But there are so many things, like there are so many people who want to be, you know, entertainers or fucking astronauts or, you know, one of those like really like high-reaching careers. Or even just high-reaching interests or hobby. Don't let yourself, don't let anyone else talk you down from that. If you think you can do it, if you want to do it, pursue it. Because at the end of the day, I know this sounds cliche, but looking back at things that like I wish I had just pursued, that I almost like I kind of did a little bit, but then I like either gave up or something else got in the way, I wish I would have just fucking pushed myself to go farther. It's better to have done it and say I failed, but at least I tried. Boobs. Cream cheese, no bean chili, shredded cheddar, layer it up, put it in the oven at 375 until everything melts, eat it with spicy sweet chili Doritos. thank me later. Know you can take a punch before you throw a punch. It's not like the movies and that shit fucking hurts. Generic is good. I understand most people are on a budget, and that is important because money does not grow on trees and we only get about this much of it thanks to Jeff Bezos. Don't demonize yourself for being on a budget and having a brand name preference. Splurge when you can. I'll be honest with you, I fucking hate those bears that talk about wiping their ass all the time, but I'll be damned if Charmin Ultra Soft isn't the best fucking toilet paper on the market. Don't buy another planner. It's cute, it's pretty, it'll be good for the first couple months, but you're gonna abandon it mid-March. Just don't do it. Save your $8, okay? Being sticky is the worst non-painful sensation. Hate it. Hate it. I would rather be on fire than be sticky. It's better just to feed your caffeine addiction and give it anything it wants than to even bother to try to break it. You're gonna lose every time. Coffee good. The best way to save money on replacing light bulbs is don't. Learn to appreciate the little things. Like waking up and not immediately feeling like you need to scream into a pillow. Or a nice sunset. Go to the movies alone. I know for some people going to the movies alone sounds like a really weird fucking thing to do, but in all honesty, going to the movies with someone else is kind of a weird fucking thing to do because you're both just sitting there in silence. I haven't been in the movies in a couple years, but the first time I went to the movies by myself, it was to see Anchorman 2, which was a really weird choice, but I think I was going through a Kristen Wiig phase at the time. I was really excited, and I felt so excited and fulfilled for some reason that I had gone to the movies by myself because it felt like a weird hurdle, even though I had a bunch of friends who did it all the time. And I loved it. And then I just started going to the movies by myself all the time. And I'm going to the movies by myself today because I'm gonna go see Scream, and I'm so fucking excited. And I'm gonna barf because I'm so excited, but I've never been to a horror movie by myself, so it's gonna be interesting. Wow, that was a lot of words for some really casual advice. If you close your eyes and use your imagination, you can still smell the taste of those Mr. Sketch markers. 90s kids know what I'm talking about. Fuck all the rest of you. Ketosis sounds like a magical state of being, but in reality, it's the part of the keto diet where you actually physically and emotionally morph into Slimer.
Disgusting blob.
Speaking of Slimer, the kids' drinks you enjoyed as a kid are actually fucking disgusting. They all taste like chemicals, because they're chemicals. So I'm just saving you the trouble in case you get nostalgic for some fucking Pacific Cooler, or you get knocked up and your kid's like, give me the slide, give me the, I want it. No, it's bad. It's all bad. It's disgusting and horrible, and it's just awful. My kids love it though. Are you getting oil changes in a timely fashion? Good. I assume that's important. Normalize cutting out toxic family members even if they are partly responsible for your existence. I haven't spoken to my dad in over 10 years, and honestly, they've been the best 10 years of my life because of that. It's okay to cut out toxic family members. It's okay. And they don't even need an explanation. I mean, it's nice to give people an explanation why you're cutting them out of your life, but like, you don't have to. You don't have to. If it doesn't serve you, if it doesn't make your life better, if there's nothing in it for you, in terms of like your emotional state, not like what you can acquire from somebody, it's okay to cut those people off. Sometimes our chosen family is more important than our given family. So watch other people with more bravery than you very closely. I knew a guy when I was probably 19. I'm gonna call him John because I feel like that was his name, but I don't really remember. So we're just gonna call him John. And we went to friends of ours, we were all together and we needed more liquor, and we went to a nearby grocery store, and John stuffed 4 bottles of liquor with the big sensor thing attached into his pants and walked out of the store, and he didn't get caught. I have no idea how that happened, and I was always kind of enamored by the gall to put that many liquor bottles in your pants with the sensors on and then just like walk out casually. On a smaller scale, I also had friends who did improv that were so good, and they were so fearless and so ballsy. And I did improv for a long time, but I don't think I was as fearless or ballsy or funny as some of those people, and I loved watching them. So in terms of like bewilderment and in terms of like, that's really cool, watch people with more bravery and more courage and more balls or whatever than you do real carefully. I'd like to take this opportunity to appreciate a really good sneeze. Thank you. If you see something, say something. Just don't say something racist, because you're better than that. If you ever receive an email that opens with, "Hey girly, how would you like to own your own business and be your own boss?" I want you to grab your nearest Nigerian prince and fucking run. And finally, allow yourself to feel deep gratitude for the people in your life who make it better. And yes, that does include some of you, most of you. Okay, it includes all of you. You're all wonderful. Even those of you who hate, watch, or whatever the fuck. I appreciate you, and I have had a terrific 35 because of you. Y'all pulled me out of an emotional rut, and I love you for it, and I only hope that I can give you back the same amount of comfort and happiness that you have given me, and I appreciate you. And this is all the emotion you'll ever get out of me, so don't get fucking used to it. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please feel free to give it a like. If you didn't, well, sorry you don't like fun. Subscribe. I make new videos whenever I feel like it. Patreon, social media, all linked in the description below. We're gonna start doing lives again pretty soon. I don't know when. We'll find out. I'm gonna go finish making more videos now so I can go see Scream later. Bye.
Getting mad, right? Better live her alone. Live her alone. Ow, live.
And fetch me the bears talking about wiping the ass.